Well, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. I'm just adjusting the picture here to get some good looks like some good color. Dang. All right, let's see. Still trying to brighten up on me. Let me see here. Let me darken it up just a little bit. All right. It looks to be about all right. Let's shut that off. So, anyways, yeah, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are at. I want to thank you for checking out the Cali Truck Stop Theater. So, I'm on here right now just because this is actually a quick video. It's supposed to be a quick video. I keep saying that I'm gonna try and do some quick videos, but I keep rambling on like I do, and it turns out to be a full blown documentary monologue and all that kind of stuff, you know. But this just came to me, okay? And I had an experience with what I believe is the Holy Spirit. And so I'm trying to say all the stuff, you know, before I, you know, forget it all. So anyways, I'm here getting ready to deliver. Well, I'm here and I'm in the process of getting unloaded at the consignee. And so while I was here, this is July 5th. This is after the 4th of July weekend, and it's Sunday. So I'm looking at this whole scenario. I don't see anybody in the store. So there's nobody here, or there was nobody here. You know, and my appointment time, or my appointed arrival was to be here by 10 o'clock. So I get here prior to 10 o'clock, but I don't see anybody here. I even checked the store hours, and the store hours said that they weren't going to be open until noon today. Now, I know that the store hours that I find on Google are not always necessarily true pertaining to me, you know, stopping in to, you know, to either pick up or drop off a load. But you know, I sometimes will take that into account, sometimes I won't, depending on the type of business it is, and if I know their operation, then I can learn to discredit what store hours or what operation hours are displayed online. So, but anyways, with that in mind, there's nobody here. Online was saying that they weren't going to have anybody till about 12 o'clock or so, but my appointment time is at 10 o'clock. Now, most people would be like, well, I mean, if you had an appointment time for 10 o'clock, shouldn't that just be, you know, good enough information for you to go by? Not necessarily. There has been many times where I have gotten an appointment time, and when I get there, I come to find out by the time I get there, that appointment is non-existent. Either because the business is not even in operation at that time, or I get an appointment, but the business is saying, well, you have a different appointment, or we don't go by appointments, we'll get you as soon as possible, but yet I had an appointment. So it's happened to me so much that I don't even pay attention to appointments. I just use it as an estimated time. You know, if I see an appointment on my trip, I'm still gonna go and see if I can either get loaded or unloaded as soon as I get there. I don't care about no appointment. Sometimes I do have to wait for that particular appointment. It does happen. But more often than not, the appointment time doesn't mean a thing to me, because way too often it's been incorrect. So now that I've digressed off of that, so the next thing is so that there's nobody here. It's almost close to the appointed time, and and I'm just like, man, I'm talking to myself and all that kind of stuff, and I'm like, I sure hope that this is not another situation where I'm told to be here at a certain time and there's nobody here to unload, and I'm like, it's looking like nobody's gonna be here till 12 o'clock, like online says. Sometimes they're pretty accurate. But I got all these different scenarios going through my head. All these different things is going through my head, and I'm like, this doesn't seem like it's gonna go very well. So as it got closer to 10 o'clock, and I'm like, man, nobody's here. And I'm thinking in my own ways is that if I got an appointment, or if I got a certain time that I gotta be somewhere, then I am gonna do what I need to do to, make that time. Provided nothing serious comes through to hinder me in getting there. But being responsible and then doing everything that you need to do to get to where you need to be on time, that's how I think. So I'm looking and I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like they're actually gonna be here this time. Maybe whoever set up this trip has got the times all wrong. So I was about ready to get all bent out of shape about it, but then I was like, shouldn't get all bent out of shape out of it, over it. But what I should do is I just should tell dispatch, like, hey, I'm here, but nobody's here to unload. What's the deal? Can somebody give me some clarification on this situation? So now here's the thing. I get ready to start typing in my message, right? And it's not a mean message or anything like that. I'm not coming from a place where, I'm upset about something. But I just want to find out what's going on. And while I'm writing that, and I got a video playing, and it's playing, and I got it playing rather loud so that I can really concentrate on it. And I guess ironically, or I'm trying to figure out the other word. I just had the word on my tongue there. Coincidentally, I had a video playing where Denzel was talking about receiving the Holy Spirit, and so I was trying to listen to what he's trying to say. So, anyways, as I was typing in my message, his voice in my head said to be on the lookout for somebody walking up next to the truck. I heard it, but I kind of was just putting it off as if it was just a random voice, playing in my head, like it was as if it was my own thought, But then it said it again. It says it told me to listen for movement outside of the truck. So mind you, I'm not looking out of the window, out of my driver's window. I'm looking at my Qualcomm, so I can't see what's on my right side there, right? So as I'm typing this, and I heard that voice again, and what I remember is that it sounded like my voice, and it wasn't no large boisterous voice. and it wasn't no wimpy voice, but it appeared to be my voice, but it was speaking to me in a way to get my attention. Okay? And it wasn't this James Earl Jones, overdub of I am God. Nothing like that. But pretty similar to the way that I'm talking now. It was I recognize it as my voice. So when I heard that message the second time, be aware of somebody coming up alongside your truck. That's when I started to tune in. Now, mind you, I had this video playing, and I had the volume up rather kind of loud, and I had the windows down. But I started to tune in to what was going on outside of the truck. And I heard some shuffling, some scuffing and some shuffling. And it alerted me to let me know that it sounds like somebody is walking up alongside the truck. So when I took my focus off of the Qualcomm to look out the window, I'm looking in my mirror, and I see a lady walking up alongside the truck. So when I saw her, she was, just coming up on the halfway mark of the trailer. So I saw her, and she's walking up to the side of the truck, and I'm like, wow. I'm thinking to myself as she's walking, I was like, wow, that was really weird, because this voice was just telling me, and I've had this happen before, but this time it's like really sticking with me. I heard the voice, and I turned and looked out where it was telling me to look out to, and I saw the lady. So I kind of find out that the lady was one of the people that was going to be unloading the truck, and she came out here to let me know that she would be ready to have me back into the dock. So now this place, let's see here. I don't know if I can. Let me see if I can show you. This place is really, really, really hard to get into, especially backing in. This is where I would say the alley docking. If you're a truck driver, I would say that the alley docking parking is a good, or is comes into play here, because you have to park along the building here, and I'm gonna show you here right quick. Hold on. Okay, so you see the dock that's right up ahead? It's right up against the building. But look as to how much space that we have to actually try and get angled in here. If you see that white line right there, that white line is trying to, it's a guide. It's supposed to help, get you angled in just right. So hopefully the camera picked all that stuff up. But so that's the deal. So she told me, she goes, she says, obviously, as you can see, that it's pretty tight in here, and the way that I was set up, waiting to open up the doors and stuff, because I wouldn't have been able to open the doors being in the dock, because it's just too narrow. So I had to be outside. I had to be just, angled in. I was angled into the parking area, but I was ready to open the doors when it was ready. So she looked and she goes, well, you're pretty spot on, but obviously that it's tight over here. And so she was saying, well, just she was trying to give me some tips, but it's things that I already knew anyways. But it was stuff that I was already anticipating, looking at the setup. But she says, well, I'll just go ahead and take your paperwork now. It's probably going to take a little while to get into the spot. And sometimes you may have to, do a couple of backs, just to get into the spot and all that kind of stuff. And she goes, don't worry about it. Don't be, don't get impatient or upset, because obviously other drivers have tried to get in here, and they've been upset. They've been frustrated by the way that, of the design. And yeah, I'm looking at this. I'm like, the design of this place is trash. It's like, they gave you the minimalist amount of space to back into these places. Now, with places like this, I would say that you have to be really, really, really good at backing into this place, into these tight spaces, because no beginner, nobody with good coordination, nobody with good I guess, well, I'll say imagination. You got to have a little bit of imagination to kind of find out how to get this working. But anyways, she says don't try not to get frustrated about it. You may have to go and go forward and back up and do all these twists and turns just to get into the dock. And so when she said that, there was a learning from there. There was a teaching that was coming from that, and it was a life teaching. And it was coming from the angle of, and this is what the Holy Spirit was teaching me on the inside. It was coming from the angle of, sometimes in life, you are hoping, or you wanting, or you're trying to make a certain thing happen in life. And sometimes it doesn't just happen. Sometimes, in order for you to be able to get into that space that you want, or that you're being led into, sometimes you may have to try it several times. You may have to back into that spot. You may have to get into that spot, or attempt to get in that spot several times before you actually get in to that spot, or before you step into what it is that you want to step into in the life. Sometimes it may not work for you the first time or the second time. Sometimes you may go so far, and then you notice that you're off course, and you have to recalibrate your direction, in order to make sure that you get on the straight path. Sometimes you may have to back out of the place that you're going, because if you keep going the way that you're going, you might crash. So, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut this short because we got this truck here. I guess I don't know what he's doing. Anyway, so that's the thing. Sometimes we may have to adjust. Sometimes we may have to do things in order to get to where we need to be, or where God's leading us to go. So don't be discouraged. Don't be upset. Don't get frustrated. If you have to make adjustments, if you have to, because things happen. Life happens. It doesn't always go as smooth as you would want it to or expect it to. But just keep trying at it. Don't give up. You may have to go. A different angle. You may have to back out of where you already went to, and then try it again, just to be more accurate. But just don't get frustrated. Don't get mad. Stay calm. Rest in the Lord. Let him guide you through the Holy Spirit. Just listen. And that was a teaching for me, learning how to hear the Holy Spirit speaking to you. All right, so learn to hear that voice. For you, it might be different. It might sound like James Earl Jones. It might sound like a crash of thunder. But for me, it sounded like my voice. So I just have to learn how to listen. Now, will it be my voice the next time? I don't know. But I will have to learn. So anyways, I'll talk to you later. Bye.